is going on, everybody?
What's going on?
Welcome to the first ever episode of The Rundown, presented by the PFA, that is the Players Football Association. Along with my host, Chris Cousins, I am Brian Mitchum. Welcome to the show, everybody. Glad you are tuning in. Looks like we have about, 11 people to watch right now. So I know we sent the invite out to way more people than that, so you guys better get in here and start watching. So what's up, Chris? How you doing, man?
Man, happy New Year's to you, my guy.
Yep, thank you.
Definitely happy to be, back on our platform again, where we do what we like to do the most.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I'm just glad to be back at it, man. That nostalgia smell of semi-pro football is starting to become in there. We got these national championship games coming up, so I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too, man. I obviously now I'm in Florida, so I'm not missing that cold ass weather. And I looked at the weather earlier in Ohio, and it said it was 32 degrees, and I'm like, man, no, I'm glad I'm in Florida now. But I do miss, I will miss going to the games in Fort Wayne area and the Indy area and stuff like that. But 1,000 miles away, I'm still going to be covering those games. So.
That's good for us now. That's going to be good for us. So now we'll be able to still cover our teams that we got up there this week. It's going to be up there in Florida. So we'll still have a show for you guys to be able to see, and we'll have some live interviews. I know Brian's going to be reaching out to some of the coaches and players that are up there. And
yeah, man, I'm excited. Sunny Daytona, Florida, but we'll get to that later. But so we have some guests tonight. Our first guest is going to be director of the referees or officials for the PFA, and that's Andy Hamilton. He'll be on in a few minutes. Unfortunately, Daniel Palmer, his assistant, could not make it. He got tied up with some work stuff. And then we also should be talking to T. Sims, the owner of the Detroit Ravens, who is going to be in that national championship game, and a crazy awesome matchup versus the Dallas Prime. That's going to be a heck of a game. And then our buddy from the Sin City Bucs, defending PFA champions, will be on as well talking to us. So we got some good guests lined up. So hopefully we can bring in some good content every week for the PFA teams and the players and the owners and stuff like that. So
we got to back it up there, Brian, because the Sin City Bucs, if I'm correct, did they not lose somebody today to 2 Chargers?
Oh, you know what? I stand corrected. You're all right.
I don't listen. We don't want to make no mistakes from giving nobody their championships.
Nope. I apologize. I seen a video of the owner with the rings. That's why I
they we'll get into them when I talk to Coach Radae. I can elaborate a little bit more on where the rings came from. But you know what I'm saying? They definitely got a good organization that came over to the PFA last year. To even make it to the championship game, their first year in our league against the competition that they played over the schedule that they had. Definitely kudos to Jordan Willer and the crew down there.
Yep. But we'll get into that in a little bit later. But we're going to take a small, quick break, and we'll bring Andy in, and we'll be right back.
Can you hear me, Andy? Look at those teams. Also, want to definitely take time out to shout out the sponsors of the PFA.
Oh, and we're back, man. So yeah, like I said before, our first guest is Mr. Andy Hamilton, our director of officials for the PFA. So we're going to go ahead and bring him on and talk to him a little bit. Hey, Andy, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
What's going on, Andy?
Not much, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. And we always, like I said, to the teams and the owners and anybody in the staff, this show is for everybody. So, if we don't hit you guys up and you want to come on and talk about something, you just let us know and we'll get you on. But we're going to jump right into it, man. Thanks for stopping by to chat with us. And this was really based on both you and Daniel being here. But like I said, Daniel got tied up with some work stuff. And we totally understand that. So we'll always catch up with him next time. So
yeah, we'll get him in. He's sorry he can't make it. He's for those that don't know him, he's a attorney here in the state of Ohio. So he had some issues with a client come up, and he had to go handle that. And I told him, man, I completely understand.
Hey, clients come first because they pay the bills, right?
Yeah, there you go, man.
Say it.
So, but anyways, Andy, so tell us a little bit about how you got into refereeing football and to where you're at. I know you have a lot of things going on with that and for the PFA, but we'll start off with that question first. Give us a little background about your history with reffing and sports or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm coming up on, I want to say it's year 16 officiating football now. I got into it because originally I just wanted to get away I could stay involved in the game, and I was looking into coaching. But at the time, in order to be a coach, you had to be a teacher of some sort. And, that just wasn't my path. So, I reached out to the state of Ohio, the Ohio High School Athletic Association, and they're the ones that told me about officiating. And it kind of just took off from there. I joined some local associations, and I started out doing youth and then junior high and then high school. And then after quite a few years doing that, I got the interest in wanting to get to that next level. So then I started working some college games and stuff, and I knew some people that had done some semi-pro stuff, and I started dabbing into that. And, one thing just led to another. And, kind of here we are, 15, 16 years later. So it's been quite a journey, but having a blast every step of the way.
Awesome, man.
Well, Andy, with that experience that you do bring to the PFA, I know Dunk is definitely happy about that.
Yeah.
What is basically between you and Daniel? What are you guys' roles as far as what are you guys overseeing in the PFA as far as officiating is concerned?
So, the thing about semi-pro, and and you guys know it from covering it and stuff like that. We hear all the time, that the players, they don't know who these officials are, or are they certified? Are they this? Are they that? And over the years' experience, what I've seen is a lot of times some of these guys are just put together type crews. They don't really know the rules, and we're out to change that. Last year when we were doing stuff, we were vetting some officials, and some of the officials that we vetted, we found out weren't even qualified to do high school games. They just weren't certified. We found out some of them just did Pop Warner leagues. So they didn't know the rules. So our job is to make sure that the officials are good quality officials. They're doing it for the right reasons. And, we want to help get them to that next level. And I would say the majority of the officials that we have now either do upper level high school or they do college at some level. On our staff, we have officials that do Division III, Division II, and Division I type college. And so it's just getting that level, because the way that the game's going now and the players and stuff like that we have in this organization, they deserve good quality officials. The players themselves, they practice and they put on a real show, and it's only fair that they get the games called correctly. So it's my job and Palmer's job to make sure that we put the correct officials on the correct games. If there's any education that needs to be done or anything like that with the officials, we're here for that. We're there to, make sure that they are corrected. They know the rules. And then we're also here for the players and the coaches. That way we can help explain stuff to them. I actually visited a couple of teams last year, that they just didn't understand from an officiating standpoint why certain things are called a certain way or why we don't call, why the whole philosophy aspect of it. And once I took the time to talk to them, it was like a light bulb went off. And they're like, oh, well, I get that now. There's holding on every single play, but did it affect the play? And then when it comes to holding, just, one thing to think of is, well, what type of different holds are there? Because a lot of times players will come up to me and they'll be like, man, I was held. And I'm like, well, you can't do that. I was like, what kind of hold was it? Can you tell me?
Well, as an offensive lineman, Andy, I'm here to tell you that holding is prevalent.
Yeah. Right. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. But what a lot of people don't realize is, like, I had to learn this at the college level. Like, when I see somebody that holds, it's not sufficient for me to go to my coordinator and say, hey, number 77 held. We actually have to say, okay, number 77 was beat at the point of attack and it was grab and restrict, or he hooked and turned him. So just simply going up to a coach or something and going, he held. We don't do that. So that's the type of stuff that we're trying to get all of the officials across the board, to hone in on.
And one thing I forgot to point out, and I think you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. You guys wear body cams, correct?
We do. That was something that we tested last year, and it was great. It eliminated a lot of, well, this person said this or this person did that, because the film don't lie. Right. The other thing that we were able to do with it, we were actually able to use it for educational purposes. We could show them, they'd be like, I didn't hold, or that hit wasn't what you said it was. And then when we show them the film, they're like, okay, I get it now. I
can't deny
it from that perspective.
Right. So how do you and Daniel plan to handle questionable calls or issues that rise up with the reffing crews? Because no one's perfect. We know refs make mistakes, but we also know that players get heated and get angry and stuff because, whether a call was not their way or it should have went their way and the ref missed it, whatever reason. How do you guys plan on taking care of issues that may arise, especially if you're not at that game or something like that?
It's all about education. We want to look at the film and see, was it, was it a judgment call? Was it, did they just completely miss it? Was it an angle thing? What happened? They might have been looking over in this area when in all actuality, they should have been looking over here. So that right there is a type of educational thing that we can do. So, we don't just want to hammer somebody, but we want to correct them and take those corrective steps to help these individuals.
Right.
So that's one thing that we want to do with that. The other thing, like I said, the big thing is also educating the players on, hey, I know you want to do it this way, but here's an officiating part. Here's this aspect of it. This is why you can't do this, or this is why you can do it this way. It's all about educating. And that's what we plan on doing with that. We plan on reviewing film every week. And we're actually encouraging teams to where if they have a play that they don't think was called correctly, let us know about it, because you don't know what you don't know. And the official, even, like you said, we're human. They might not know that, hey, I should be looking this area, or maybe I just need to watch just a little bit longer to see that extra action, or, something like that. So.
Well, I guess my next question is, Andy, I'm glad that you brought that up. I know that we just made this huge announcement that, we're about to have this showcase of teams with this referees. Could you elaborate and tell us a little bit more about that and exactly like what's going to be happening?
Yeah, absolutely. So we partnered up with a group that in Southwest Ohio that is putting on a college officiating clinic. And this clinic is designed for officials that currently do college football officiating at the D3, D2 level, and they're looking to take that next step to the D1 level. So the PFA, they're going to be supplying all 8 of the teams to get the on-field type of action, I guess you could say. And it's going to be actual games that are played, and they're going to have coordinators from like the Big Ten, the ACC, the SEC. I think we got a couple from the NFL that's coming out And they're actually going to be on the field watching the officials and then critiquing them as the game goes on. So they're going to be saying, hey, on this type of play, you need to be up here. You need to be moving. You should be looking here. You should be doing that. And the PFA is going to be the one going forward too that supplies the teams for them. So that's just another opportunity that we're able to help this thing grow.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about, as you guys know, networking,
Exactly.
just getting your names out there and then getting the old mentality and the old opinion of semi-pro away. That's been my battle.
That's everybody's battle. Honestly, that's everybody's battle. That's Dunk's battle. That's our battle as media. Yep. I mean, because when someone says, "Oh, there's a semi-pro team," people look at you like you're crazy and you're speaking a foreign language, because the stigma that semi-pro has behind it, fighting, thug mentality. I mean, let's be honest. Because there's been so many instances in the past couple of years where guns are pulled and fights broke out, and I mean, I've been involved with teams where it had stuff like that happen, and it cost a team having to fold. So it's hard. It's a battle. It's a never ending battle. It seems like no matter what you try to do. But I mean, you're fighting a good fight. As PFA's fighting a good fight. Trying to change that mentality and give it a
correct. And I think by doing something like this, it's like I told Dunk, this right here with the 8 teams, it's almost like an audition, so to speak, because you're going to have. We literally have. Last I heard, it's over 200 and some officials that are coming to this clinic, and they're from all across the country. So by them doing that, then when I reach out to them and I'm like, hey, you want to do some of these games? They can be like, oh, well, it's not like what I thought it was. It's legit, and then my other goal is, and again, this is long-term, to where these officials, we all talk to the coaches, the college coaches and stuff. So it would be an amazing thing for them to be like, hey, we officiated this team. This guy's probably still eligible and he's got a lot of talent. You might want to take a look at him. Mm-hmm. And then it gives that person an opportunity. So again, it's all about that networking and stuff. And I can't think of any other organization out there right now that has something like this in place and are trying to do it the right way.
Well, I think it's a good thing not only for our league, but also for the players in general and the coaches and the organizations, because you'll be able to be in a controlled atmosphere with the referees. Mm-hmm. To actually ask some questions, what I'm saying, on calls. These games don't count, but it's the more so the practice that we can get of asking those questions, having those conversations. Those referees seeing that, semi-pro is not what it has been known to be. It's a different vibe now. So I think all those things considered, I think it's a great idea. I can't wait for it to go down. And report on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, we're human. We're going to make mistakes. The officials are going to make mistakes. The players are going to make mistakes. But at the end of the day, it's all about the love of the game. It's why we do it. So as long as, and I know that you're going to have that competitive edge and stuff like that. And, we get there too, even as officials. I want to, I'll never work a perfect game. I like to think that I could, but I just know that I won't. And I know I'm going to miss stuff. And I'm the type of person where if I miss a call, I'll tell you, like as a lineman, you may come up to me and go, hey man, that dude just held me. And I'll be like, you know what? I might've missed that one, bro. And, just roll with it,
Hey, Andy, someone in the chat said he's still salty about you kicking him out of the Racine game. But he also said that you're very passionate. He put laughy, crying faces on it. So
that dude, that was a good game. And who was it?
Maurice. I don't know. It says Maurice Momo. I don't know who it is, but
I know who it is.
Oh, Maurice Lovett Sr.
Yeah,
I just put his little comment up there.
He got a little mouthy, and that's what I'm saying. But nah, he's a solid dude, man. And honestly, I've learned a lot from him. I was just talking to Dunk about that the other day. I was like, man, when I first met him, like he was just like on me. I was like, but he's a good dude. He really is. He's just one of those that, you know, he's very vocal. But nah, man, he's good. He's good.
Yeah. I figured I would tell you that because I figured you would chuckle all that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So for 2024, Andy, what are you guys planning to implement that you new to this year that you didn't have in 2023? And what are you looking to improve on stuff that happened in 2023? Like, what are you looking to improve on?
Well, one of the big things that we're doing, we tried it last year, but I'm going to hit harder on the coaches this year on this, is the rating system. What we do is at the end of each game, we will have the coaches rate each official. Mm-hmm. And then going into the playoffs, the highest rated officials will be the ones working the playoffs. And then obviously the highest rated officials out of all of that will be the ones working the championship game. I want that to be more consistent. And then the other thing that we're wanting to do is we're wanting to have weekly calls with the crew chiefs this year. That way, if, you know, I see, because I'm looking at the data, because I kept track of specific penalties, basically anything that was 15 yards or greater that an official called, I was able to keep track of that. So there's some of them going into the season, I seen, hey, this official called a lot of DPIs. Well, I understand there's DPIs, but I want to have extra training on that for them because they were heavy on that. Yeah. Or they were heavy on holding. I want to have some extra training on that. So I'd say those are my goals, is, you know, to get, you know, just the calls more accurate, I guess I should say, and increase the training for the officials.
Andy, I'm gonna come from that was more of the coaches. I'm gonna come from a player aspect. As
a player,
ahead. I'm new to the PFA. Mm-hmm. I'm stepping fresh foot on the field. What can I not do? Or what can I do? Let's say that. What can I do to not get kicked out? What can I do?
That is great.
Over talk.
That is great. And honestly, I and this is what I tell people all the time. The biggest thing that causes players to get kicked out is the way that they come at the official about complaining. Okay? I try to tell people there's a right way to complain and a wrong way to complain. So it's just human nature. If you come at me and you're like, bro, you just totally missed that. I don't know what the hell you were watching, but, you know, it's human nature. I'm going to be like, okay, I can't wait for the next one to get you. And if I see you teeter-tottering and I see something where it's 50-50, where I can go, I can let that go, or I'm going to have to get them on it. You know that I'm going to be like, oh, I got you now, bro.
Right.
But if you come up to me and you go, hey, man, you know, this guy's holding me or whatever. Do you care to just keep an eye on it? And I'd be like, hey, what's his number? What happened? And then I will take a look at that. It's all about communication. I tell people that all the time. If you have a question, ask the question. Now, it might take me a play or two to get to you, but just give me that time and give me the respect. It's the same thing like, you know, you wouldn't want an official coming up to you and going, bro, you completely missed that block. Like you look like trash. You know, you'd be like, who are you to tell me? You know what I mean? So it's just be professional. You know, you're going to get heated. We're going to miss calls, but we're not going to do it on purpose. You know, so that would be the big thing, just communication.
Okay. I'm the world's biggest, you know, trash talker. I've had a lot of run-ins with referees before. And yeah. I mean, what you're saying is absolutely right. I mean, it's how you conduct yourself on the field and how you approach a person, you know what I'm saying, and say certain things. I've had my fair share of nice conversations with referees, and I've had my fair share of not so nice conversations with referees. But communication, I definitely agree with you on that. Communication is definitely a big thing for us.
I will tell you, and you know, I won't bring the official's name up, but I was given an official a chance last year with an experienced crew, and he chose to get a little mouthy with the head coach, and I thought that it was very unprofessional. And he admitted to what he said, but I actually fired him from the staff. because of that. So I don't want people listening thinking that, oh, well, the players have to talk this. You know, we hold the officials to a higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I expect them to have the utmost respect towards you guys. That's another thing with the body cameras. You know, I want to see, how was it said? What was it professional and stuff like that? So yeah,
I'm actually glad that we actually do implement the body cam system for our league. Like you said, I think it's a good teaching tool for not only the referees but also the players, so we can actually see what you guys are saying. You know what I mean? So it's not just like, man, you didn't see that, but now we can actually see what you're looking at. So yeah, I'm you know, your body cam is going to face wherever you're facing. So what I might be yelling at you about might have been, you know, on the other side of the field. You can't see that.
Correct. And we had a couple of instances where we had to pull the body cam and we actually had to show people, be like, hey, I understand you're saying this, but look at what I was looking at. And they're like, all right. I get it. So it's been a huge success so far. We love the body cam stuff.
I think it's a great idea, and it's a great implement into, especially, I'm not gonna lie, semi-pro. There's so many games, arguments over calls, this doing that, this that. Being able to finally have some type of video footage to use to either prove your point or to, you know, just get a resolution for the situation
100%
is going to be best for all parties involved. So us implementing that into the PFA, I think it's a great thing.
Yep, absolutely, I agree. And I'm looking forward to this season. I think it's going to be great, and we got a lot of talent, and you know, it's going to be a good season, dude. I mean, you guys are going to have a lot to report on. It's definitely going to be some fun.
Hey, I'm excited to actually have content to put onto the podcast. That's for sure. I'm excited to.
Bro, it ain't going to be boring. I mean, dude, you'll have a field day just with them body cam footage.
Right. We'll be putting top 5 ref blow call, top 5 plays the refs blew of the week. You know,
yeah. Dude, you know, I won't. If you want me to come on here and you know, me try to give my little spin on it, I'd be fine with that too. I don't care to break it down from an official.
Hey, that sounds like a segment to me.
I'm serious.
We should do. We'll come up. We're going to come up with some segments. We'll put like Andy's corner or Andy's or between the lines with Andy or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
And if we mess it up, the official messes it up, then I'll own it. You know, I mean, because ultimately any official that works the PFA, they're representing me when I can't be there. They're representing me and Palmer. So, you know, if an official makes a mistake, we'll own it, you know, but we'll learn from it and we'll get it correct for the next time.
Hey, just remember, the refs reffing minor league football couldn't be doing any worse than the NFL refs. So we're good. I mean, we're a step ahead of them.
And they have instant replay.
And you know, the thing about instant replay that cracks me up, though, like I'll watch it. And again, I'm looking at it different. You know, I'm looking at it from an officiating standpoint. When I see this stuff going on and they're like, well, let's take a look at the replay. And then they have to replay it like 10 times. And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, that official didn't have that when he made that call. Like he had to make it right now. Right. So it is tough to make some of these calls. I mean, just with the way the speed is, the strength, and just everything going on, it's unreal. And the other thing that I do, and I'd like to bring this up, is if any player wants to learn to become an official, we can do that. We can actually get them certified. So then when you're not working during the season, you can work as an official like in August when the semi-pro season's done. And not only does it help keep you in that game, but it also, as a player, it takes you to that next level, because now you're understanding, okay, here's the philosophy behind this rule. And then you also learn how to finagle, you know, some of the rules and stuff. And then plus, to your point, Chris, if you get an official that doesn't know what he's talking about, you call him out on it, bro, because he can't be like, are you an official? You can be like, well, actually, I am.
Yeah, I dabble.
Right. Yeah. Pull out your credentials. Yeah.
Yep.
But, Andy, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a little bit of background about what to expect for the officials this year from the PFA, and we'll definitely get you on. I think we'll come up with a segment for you to have. You can pick a body cam play, and we can play it on here, and you can just we'll have some fun with it probably. And but anytime you want to come on and talk, man, just let me or Chris know, and we'll get you back on.
I sure will. I appreciate it. And you guys have a good night.
You too.
All right, Andy.
We'll see you, man.
Awesome, man. That was Andy Sims, the director of officials. I mean, very knowledgeable. But definitely lucky to have him in the PFA as the director of officials, and I think he's very passionate about what he does. You can tell by the way he talks about football and reffing. So, but let's talk about this upcoming battle of the Goliath teams, Detroit Ravens and the Dallas Prime, Chris, because T. Sims is getting ready to come on from the Detroit Ravens. I know he has practice tonight, so we'll try to get him on here in just a second. Okay. But I mean, coming up on the 13th of January in Daytona, Florida, it's the official national championship game between the Dallas Prime, which we all know has been one of the top teams in the country for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, at least from what I saw. And then you got the historic Detroit Ravens, who also
nine straight national championships.
Exactly. So without further ado, we're going to bring Mr. T. Sims on because I know he has practice. I don't want to hold him up. T, how you doing, sir? Thank you so much for dropping by the rundown.
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Not much. How are you?
All right.
Hey, so we're talking about this matchup you guys have against Dallas Prime. Obviously, it's going to be a big game, probably an action-packed game. You guys are 9 straight national championships. There you go. Got your trophy room right there. Just in case no one believes them, I believe them. But I mean, tell us. I know you got practice tonight, but give us a little history on just a quick history on the Detroit Ravens.
We started in 2005 from our late owner, Jason Curtis. Jason Curtis founded the team to give inner city kids a second chance, which we've done. Where 20 plus kids back to school, some USFL, Division I college, JUCO. We got college graduates. So the goal prior to winning was to give those kids and young men that second chance, which I think we've accomplished, and that's the ultimate goal, just to be that bridge. So we're winning on that aspect, and with that comes winning on the field. So, which we take a lot of pride in. So we take pride in both.
Awesome.
Well, Coach, I've been around semi-pro about them, and I've been of a couple teams. OGK, the Pit Bulls. We played against you guys. What helped really sustain y'all success over this? Just the longevity, because just like I know, organizations can come, win for a couple years, and then all of a sudden the bottom fall out of it. Yep. So what makes Detroit Ravens so special, man? Because y'all been around for quite some time, bro.
We stick to our formula. We stick to our guns. We coach, we play, we practice with integrity. So we do have rules that we follow, from top to bottom, from the superstar. If we got team fees or whatever it is, a mandatory practice, if you don't come, you can't start, or if you don't pay your money, you can't play. We try to hold everybody accountable. So once you start cutting corners, then that's what you get. You get that temporary success. Mm-hmm. So we've been grinding from the beginning. So that's why we kind of, it's been longevity behind it because we stick to our guns. So I would just say staying true to who we are.
That's awesome. Because I mean, you say hold people accountable, and I've been around my semi-pro for a couple of years, and just that that statement alone is half the battle. I feel like, because a lot of people, like you said, they don't want to pay their dues, but they still expect to play, or they don't show up for practice, but they still expect to play. You can't win 9 national championships and have that formula. So kudos to you guys for sticking to that and being a model really for franchise, organizations that want to succeed and be around long term, but on another note, how is the prep for the Dallas Prime matchup going? You don't have to give us any of your game plan, obviously, but I mean, how's that going for you, sir?
Pretty good, man. We just ready to play. So we 1 week out, a week and a couple of days. Yep. So we ready to get to it. It's been a lot of talk, which it should be. It should be hyped up. They're on a 46 game winning streak. We're on a 26 game winning streak. So somebody got to come out on top. So we're just ready to play.
Yep.
Now, Coach, like I said, with my experience of playing with you guys, I know y'all bring the wood. You know what I mean? I know y'all come to play every down. I respect that about you guys' team. What do you think is going to be some of the things you guys are going to have to do to beat this Prime team? I mean, because y'all kind of evenly matched. You know what I mean? Like this is a juggernaut. This is a juggernaut fight. But I'm here for it though.
Okay.
So what do you think? What are some of the keys that you think that you as a team you guys are going to have to make sure you guys do in that game to make sure you guys come out with the dub?
Play sound football. I mean, even at football at its highest level, it come down to the basics. You saw Michigan and Alabama. It came down to special teams. You know, Michigan let Alabama in the game by a couple of special teams mistakes. It came down to controlling the line of scrimmage, just playing sound football. So I don't think it's no secret formula or anything to beating anybody. We just play big boy football. We gonna play football at all aspects. We're gonna play 4 quarters of football. Talking don't win you no game. So we not once. I mean, the talking is fine on the internet and everything, but once that whistle blow, we there to play football.
So, I mean, what does the Prime bring to the field that you guys are not used to seeing, or that you have to just be on top of?
They talk more than any team we've ever played.
Well, we all know talk is cheap.
They
right?
talk a lot. No, I mean, any team that's won 46 games, they got to be doing something good. And I know they've stepped outside of Texas to win some of those 46. So they played a team from Oklahoma, a team from St. Louis, Missouri, or some part of Missouri in 2 of those nationals. I don't know about the third one. So obviously they're doing some good things, man. Props to them. But I think that's the benefit of being with us. We've seen almost every type of football team. We've been in every type of football game. I don't know if they can say the same thing and say they've seen every type of team and been in every type of game. So I think we're just coming into it with the experience.
Okay. Now I got to ask this question, Coach. I know a lot of people might want to, they got their opinions. Okay. Detroit Ravens, Motor City Outlaws, Motor City Rams. It's a lot of Michigan. It's a lot of Detroit teams. Who run the deep?
I mean, we're the number 1 team in the nation. How we not
right?
gonna
I want to hear you say, Coach. I
mean, I think at this point that's like not even. I mean, is Jay-Z popular in Brooklyn? You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z, he's going for the world.
Hey, so enough said.
Yeah, at this point, we passed just Detroit. We actually don't even look at like that no more. Our goals is always to win the national. Now you got to win your league before you can win national, but that's not even.
Say that again. Wait.
People in the back, they hear you.
100%. You got to be a league champion to win a national championship.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We're just to make sure that me and Chris weren't the only ones that believe that rule. Yeah. But besides the Daytona game, Coach, you guys are officially in the PFA now. Last year was a crazy year. We all know 2 leagues came together to play a schedule, and you guys were in a different league than you played the PFA teams and stuff. So, what made you guys fully commit to the PFA this year?
We already had a good partnership last year. We started a open relationship. So I just think it'll only be right if we go ahead and top it off, make 1 champion. Try to bring that Michigan, Ohio. That's what I wanted to do. When I first started, you had the Michigan, Ohio. Well, I played in the MCFL, was the first big league, which was Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, may have been a couple other states, Illinois. So you had that whole little Midwest area. A lot of the top teams was in the same conference, same league. So then it kind of branched off to Michigan, Ohio. We played in the Michigan, Illinois before, but we were hoping this would kind of open up that branch to that Michigan, Ohio and get that back going. Maybe have an Ohio division, a Michigan division, and then you win through Ohio, you win through Michigan, we play each other in the championship. Just something of the sort. Any other states is welcome too, Indiana. But I think it's over the years, it's kind of got broken up where it's a lot of different leagues for whatever different reasons.
Too many damn leagues.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
Lose
kind of
it.
condense it. We all get in the same league. That way you had that one champion out of the Midwest. And then when we go to Florida, we're playing whoever the champion is from the West Coast or the South.
Yeah.
So you know
Who the real
undeniably,
champ is.
yeah, undeniably who that
Definitely.
number one team in the area is.
Because we got 21 teams. You saw, Dunk made the post. We got 21 teams in Ohio.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. You know
And I mean, there's probably close to
so
that
many
many
different leagues.
Close to
There's
that
so
many
different
teams.
leagues. So
yeah,
I'm with you on that. Coach. I like clarity. I like
sure.
I don't like a lot of national champions. I like one.
Right.
So I'm glad that honestly you guys are playing in prime.
Oh yeah,
that's a national championship game.
for sure.
That's a big boy game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that's on the books. I'm glad we're gonna be able to get some film and footage, because you like the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't, we don't get to see too much. So I'm glad we're gonna have some footage to see what's go down. So we can be able to come and tell the people, you know what I'm saying, how it went. So we glad to have you. Glad, you came on the show. I know we gotta get you to practice so you can get them boys together. But anytime, Coach, we love to have you back home, man.
Oh yeah. Anything else? I got about 2-3 more minutes. Any questions? Anything? Appreciate y'all.
No, we'll definitely catch up with you in Florida. I live in Florida now, so
you'll be seeing Brian when you get up there. We got a whole show.
Yeah, so I mean,
everything.
come on the live show from the field and get some of your players. Some of your key players or whoever wants to be on the show. We'll talk to them before the game, or we'll do a post game or something after you guys are holding that trophy up. And definitely anytime you want to come on, anytime the players or any coaches or anything like that, just let me or Chris know and we'll get you on, man. This podcast is for you guys and this is why we're doing it. So
for sure, man. Thank you and good luck on, future success.
You too, sir.
Coach.
All right.
That was
I can't wait, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be an awesome game.
Awesome game, bro.
I'm glad
I played against Detroit, bro. When he says they play grown man football, bro. They play grown man football.
I've heard stories.
I've seen footage of prime, so I'm kind of. It's going to be what do you call it? A will of wilt.
Right.
Is that I'm saying it right? I don't know.
Battle of wills.
A battle of wills. There it is. Thank you, Brian. That's why you want a battle of wills.
I have my moments,
be a battle
but
of wills, for sure. And they're gonna play all 4 quarters. Matter of fact, when I played them, we actually went to overtime.
Oh,
so it's like they're going to play until the final whistle blows and the game is over. So
I've heard stories of like teams from Fort Wayne, when I was working for them, going to play Detroit and getting this spanking put on them, like, double digits to like 0. So I know the history that, and they're going to bring it. So
for sure.
It's going to be a great game. But before we get to our next guest, there was an announcement and it's kind of been buzzing. The word transfer portal's been brought up, and I'm gonna play this clip and then you'll know why once it's done. The Queen City Raiders are back, obviously, and they've been breaking the internet with the rumor of they're paying players, and good for them if they are. I can't deny, because I saw
my pros coming to, dog.
Just because I saw it on the internet doesn't mean it's true, right? But that's going to be an interesting.
And just because they say they're paying players doesn't mean that they paying now. Again, this is semi-pro.
Right.
Understand the semi in front of it.
Right. Our next guest is the head coach, co-owner of the Sin City Bucs.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let Chris introduce him, and I'll bring him on.
This is. I'm so glad we have this man on. This is Mr. Radae Wheeler, head coach. Head coach, owner, spokesman, philanthropist.
Philanthropist.
Back-to-back BCFL champions, You know what I mean? Been only in the game for 3 years. Am I right?
We're going into our fourth season.
Fourth
Oh,
season.
wow.
Been
Yeah.
in 3 championship games.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is you got something cooking. He got
Right.
something cooking over there. And
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
thankfully he brought the talents over to the PFA. And
You're right.
without further ado, I give you all Mr. Coach Radae Wheeler. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
Wait. Hang on. You caught me off guard, but do
we got that? Yeah.
There we go. You got to warn me before you start clapping, Chris. This first show. First show, we'll get the wheels.
New buttons and stuff. This is all new for us this year.
Right. Well, thank you for Mr. Wheeler. Thanks for jumping on, and we got you last minute, so we appreciate it. And anytime you want to come on and chat, we always appreciate volunteers. How's your night going?
It's I work third shift, so I'm about up around this time. Anyway.
Me and you on the same page, Coach.
I'm a night out.
I used to be, and I'm back to getting up. My wife's an RN, so she gets up at 3:00 to be work by 8. So I'm up with her. So I'm technically a third shifter, kind of, but I can go back to sleep on some days. But thanks for joining us. You've been a busy man getting the organization ready for an upcoming season. I wanted to start off by asking you about last year in the PFA, your first season in the league. What were your takeaways from it?
It was what we expected. Talking to Dunk and John the previous season, we just wanted to play different teams, and we didn't care who it was. We were taking on all comers, as evident, Racine. And going into this season, I told Dunk, don't want no easy schedule. Give us the same schedule, if not harder. Now that we got the big boys over here with us, I got my work cut out for me.
Well, I definitely wanted to bring that up because, I covered you guys last year as well. And you guys had a gauntlet schedule, man. A gauntlet of a schedule. Like, I think it was 3 games in a row. Y'all went to y'all played Racing, Motor City, and then y'all played 82?
Actually, it was
or Glass City did 82.
We had the Badgers first.
Okay.
Then we had Motor City. Then we had 82. Then we had Glass City. Then 82 again.
Yeah.
And then we ended up playing 82 3 times because we ended up. Yeah.
So with the gauntlet that you guys went to, I know he just asked you what were your takeaways, but now coming into this PFA season, and we add in Detroit, Motor City, and those guys are coming over, and we're still able to get those connections from other teams, from other leagues to play those tough games. What do you got? What do you think you guys going to be looking like this year? Are we going to? I mean, because those games you did play in, Coach, I'm not going to lie, very, very close in the first halves. I think you guys played well first half games against those competitors. Second half, not, things happen. What are you guys doing now, training wise, to try to complete those games against these top-notch teams?
Well, one is the chemistry between my quarterback and his receivers. Last year was our first year with Reese. The previous 2 years, we had my now OC, Antonio Davis, was my quarterback. And then going into this season, we're starting sooner, and our chemistry is going to be on point. I went back and I dissected all of our films, so I know what my recruiting aspects was going into the offseason. I've been talking to my quarterback all offseason, along with my young Bucs, on things that cost us some games. Mm-hmm. All that stuff has been fixed talking to Andy. Andy and I have a great relationship, and some of the unnecessary penalties that cost us games, i.e. the Racing game, we now have a better understanding on how to approach the referees on certain calls. That way it doesn't go left. And now I lost my quarterback. I lost half my defense because they getting flags because they run off at the mouth because my quarterback got ejected. So
Right.
now going into this new season that we got Motor City Rams in, and now we got Detroit, Queen City's back. So our discipline has been our main focus point because it's what really cost us some of those games that we could have and should have won because of our discipline. So that's been my main focus going into the offseason. And I've been drilling it into my guys' head. And then, I picked up some new talent. So,
I mean, Coach, I was gonna go there later, but since you're going there now, you know what I'm saying? What kind of talent you been picking up, Coach? What kind of?
Matter of fact, I ain't gonna spill it, but stay tuned. I got a big announcement.
Okay. We'll make sure you do it on the rundown.
We what we do over here, we have a process, and we like to stick with the process. One of the biggest things that myself and my two other owners, Ed and Coach Los, is we stick to our process. We don't deviate. We don't try to compete with other teams on what they're doing. We take advice. I've actually reached out to, I believe, Coach Sims on longevity. I talked to the head coach of Racine and got some advice from him on longevity. Coming from a historic team like the Comets, who've been around for 20 years, I want that longevity for the Bucs. I'm not new to the game, but as an owner, I'm really, really green.
Okay.
But yeah, you just watch what you see, because I can't say what I want to say, but I'm gonna put it in the group room because I know we on live and censorship.
We get.
I can't bleep it out. So if you have top secret stuff, don't. There's only 17
Coach,
people watching.
When you ready to put it out there, I'm gonna give you this platform again.
No, it's my mentality is I'm a bridge between old school football and this new age football.
Right. You say in the comments, you speak. If you came from the comments, I know about the comments. So you come from a breed.
So it's. My first year with the Comets, we went 36-0. Well, 36-2.
Wow.
My first 2 seasons with the Comets.
Yeah, the Comets was like that.
So coming over to the Bucs, we started out rough. A lot of people didn't think we was gonna last. We went 0-3, made some adjustments, and then we went back to back.
Like I said, you went back first 3, and the reason why I say it is because, I'm glad you pointed out longevity. I was just talking to Coach Sims about how long Detroit has been a dominant team. You know what I'm saying? For 9 straight seasons, they've been in the national championship game. So to have your first 3 seasons, end up in a championship game, I know that makes you feel good, but like you said, can you tell us what little things that you saw or that you see that you can kind of change to help you make it a longevity organization? Or is there things that possibly you need to stop that might keep you from being that longevity organization that you found out during the season?
Well, one of the things that I know myself as a coach is I like to be as transparent with my players as possible. This is a business first and foremost, but we're not dating. We don't have to be behind the scenes and be subliminal with our messages.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the players who play for me personally respect that aspect because I am transparent. I'm going to tell you how it is because I'm not attacking you as a man. I'm attacking you as a player. I expect you to do something as well as you expect me to coach you. And the longevity part is just getting players who buy into your system. You can't force, what they say, a square peg in a round hole.
Right.
And some of the guys that I really have built relationships, they're in different uniforms, but I'm still their coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just don't fit what we're doing over here, and that's cool. I don't want nobody to be a Buck who don't want to be a Buck.
Facts.
I'm not about to go outside of our foundation and what we built the Bucs on to compete. I'm not. I go 0-15 with guys who's going to stick to the process. I'm not about to just. I hate coined the phrase, but I don't want to buy my championship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna earn my championship. And, I mean, it's. I said we had this conversation in the PFA owners' room, and this is just my opinion. I'm not knocking nobody for what they're doing, but as a owner, I cannot see myself paying players if one, myself and my other two owners or my coaches are not getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
It's true fact.
You know, it just don't make sense. You know, I make a decent salary as an individual, but I also have a family.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? Running a minor league football team is not cheap.
Nope.
And me personally, and I'm just speaking for me and my guys, we don't have corporate sponsorship. You know, we got I got my own individual sponsorship. One of my co-owners, he owns his own tow company. That's another sponsorship. But for the most part, it's coming out of our regular.
Mm-hmm.
So until I can actually see some kind of return, and then if we can actually structure a payment plan, I can't see myself paying a few players and I have a roster of 50 people. Everybody's got to get their cut.
Yep.
That's only fair. It's only fair.
I mean, it's been going on for a while, Coach. It's been going on for a while. It was just called different things, you know. Some coaches say, "Oh, I'm just gonna pay for your gas." You know what I'm saying? Some coaches be like, "Oh, I got a room for you," you know. And it was just done for certain players. You know what I'm saying? But what I always thought, to your point, that causes friction when I know somebody else is getting a bag and I got a wife and I got a kid, and I feel like I contribute to this team as well, and I can't get a bag either. So if I'm with you, if everybody can't split this pie, then can't nobody have none of the pie.
Right.
That's it. I'm not knocking nobody. I've been around semi-pro in Ohio because I'm not originally from Ohio since 2009. You know what I'm saying? And when I first got into semi-pro, I played for the Tri-State Sharks. You know, we won. We went 0-3, had a little bye week, came back, built another team, went to nationals, won it. The next year, did some recruiting. We had all alphas and no betas.
Been there.
And it's rough. With a full coaching staff, it's rough. You got players fighting each other on the field, and the owner just was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I've been around. I know paying certain players, you know, it happens. You know, it's just like I said, now that I'm on the other side of the coin as a owner,
right,
I can't see myself just paying one or two, even giving one or two incentives to players without offering it to my entire team. Because everybody counts, even those who just play special teams for me. They count. They may not be regular offensive starters or defensive starters. Everybody on my team has a role, and it's appreciated. So therefore, I'm not about to pay. You know, I got a Hall of Fame quarterback, but his offensive line ain't getting nothing.
Right. I mean, that's understandable. I mean, totally. Like,
no, I mean, just
yeah. One last thing, Coach. Into this new season, what can the PFA expect from the Bucs moving forward, not only in football but in your surrounding community as well, from you guys?
We got a lot of things cooking. We're doing a homeless drive to where we're going to take some donations, take it to the Salvation Army. We was going to do serve food to the homeless, but due to my work schedule and some of my players' work schedule, we weren't able to do it, but we just had to push it out to a later date. And as far as what you're gonna see on the field, there's no slouching. As he's been advocating all off season, we elevate every year. So we had 3-4 losses.
Well, I'm gonna ask you, Coach, just like I asked Coach T, because he got his own little problem in the D.
I know what's coming.
You got a little situation there up in Sin City. Who run the nasty? Who run the nasty natty up there?
Sin City.
Sin City running, okay.
And until you beat us, we run the city.
Hey, good, fair enough. And one thing,
Coach.
So while you're in the hot seat of that question, who do you got in the bowl games coming up? And I'm going to start with the 82 Chargers, since you know them and you played them in the championship, versus the Indy Bison. I mean, who do you got?
82.
Okay. And what about the Prime and the Ravens?
I've actually did my little homework. I know you don't really see a whole lot of film on the Ravens. They like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
I just said that, the boogeyman.
Yep, the boogeyman. Yeah.
I know a lot of people who played them, and you can't get no better film or information than those who actually played them. I'm gonna have to give the nod to the Ravens.
Oh, there you go. And I think Coach Wheeler's been doing some intel on the Ravens getting ready for this coming up season, it sounds like.
Oh yeah. oh yeah. I think we're still slated to go to Racine this season. It was kind of part of our little deal with them coming down here. We just don't have the dates and stuff situated. But yeah, I have to. I wouldn't be a coach first if I just went in
right
at it. They're the juggernauts.
Oh yeah.
Do this. In order to be the best, you got to play the best.
Exactly. Right now, wait. Say that one more time, Coach, for the people.
In order to be the best, you got to play the best.
Right, okay. See, that's the second time we've heard something like that on this show, and just making sure that me and Chris and a couple others are not the ones that only think that. But man, thanks again for jumping on, and we appreciate your time and the chat. And anytime you want to come on, just let us know, and we'll get you on. Players or other owners, coaches, whatever, we'll get you on, man.
Appreciate it. Anytime, fellas.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Awesome, man. Another good guest. But get ready to wrap the show up here soon. We're going for an hour. Not too bad. It looks like we still got to average about 18 people. Most of the comments are from Tylis. I'm gonna dub him someone said he was drama queen or something, I think, in the chat. I don't know. We still love you, Tylis.
Shout out to my man Jimmy, the head coach of the Pit Bulls. He tapped in. He was watching the show. Shout out to Jimmy Melvin, one of the owners.
Let's talk about Daytona a little bit more, man.
First of all, I'm just glad that I don't know any league, so I'm just gonna say we are the only league that I know. So I'm gonna say it like that has 3 teams playing in the national championship. So if that don't tell you about our league right there, I mean that should. Because I don't know a league that can at least I know a league that probably had two, not 3 though, not 3. And we talking big dogs, Detroit Ravens, Motor City, both, and the Sin City Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then it's the teams that they're playing. I am anxious to see the 82 Charger game.
Mm-hmm.
82 Charger against Indy. Indy's been coming along. They got the little Indy red, Indy blue, you know what I'm saying, teams going on or whatever. But I played against 82, and like Coach said, when you don't know a lot about the other team, but you played against the team that they're playing, it's kind of hard to go against them.
Well, let's break that down a little bit, because obviously the Bison came from the MCFL. Right. They ran through the teams that they played, but most of those games were forfeits. Still a win, not knocking that. and they got to the playoffs and lost by 1 point to the Bird Gang. You know, it was a good game. It was back and forth. 82 Chargers. I can't remember what their record was, but you know, they were in the back-to-back championship games. The first year they played the Pit Bulls. I don't know if you were playing that year, but what was it? Triple overtime or something?
Triple overtime. We were able to pull it out at the end. This past year they started off really rocky, and it really looked like Sin City was going to run away with it. And 82 Chargers with that championship build that they have started winning games towards the middle in the season and made the playoffs and was able to, you know, put wood to belt the ass, if I'm gonna say it, keep it 100 to everybody else in the playoffs and won the championship. But I will say this, when it comes to semi-pro, to me, it comes to quarterback play. And if Mike Wilson is quarterback in the 82 Chargers, I can't go against Mike Wilson.
I have never
Mike Wilson was my quarterback at one point in time. I've seen Mike play too many. We call him Willie Beeman for a reason.
Okay,
like the man is, he's dang near like the GOAT right now of semi-pro when it comes to winning championships, the number of championships he's won, the teams he's played on, the success they've had. Like everywhere Mike go, Mike win. So if Indy can pull it out, hey, kudos to you guys. But if I'm putting money on something, I'm putting money on Mike.
Yeah, I'm definitely
would disagree with me with that.
Definitely looking forward to all the games they're playing. There's two playing in Daytona, and then the Motor City Rams are playing just outside of Orlando as well.
Now, the Motor City. Now, which team is playing? Now, we have another team playing a tournament game in. Is that correct? Am I speaking correct? The Outlaws?
The Outlaws are not part of the PFA, but they are playing in the Dirty Bowl to get to Miami for the Sunshine Bowl. So if they win the Dirty Bowl, they go to Miami for the Sunshine Bowl. But the Motor City Rams are playing outside of Orlando the same weekend that the Daytona games are going on.
Okay, that's all I got you. I told you this Motor City thing is confusing.
Oh no,
that's
man, there's so damn many. Yeah.
Who run Detroit? Because all these teams keep popping up.
Had the flyer. They're playing Hurricanes, I think. I think we talked about that earlier. And I think
Marshfield Hurricanes out of Massachusetts.
Yep. The National NFE Bowl game, number 8, obviously the Hurricanes and versus number 12, the Motor City Rams. And then you have the games in Daytona, which is going to be really nice down. Hopefully the weather's good down there. If you're down there, you can stop by the beach, check it out.
It was nice last year when I played. It was definitely nice last year down in Miami. We played down in that Sunshine game.
Yeah, I was in Miami for the Sunshine Bowl the previous year when the Fort Wayne Wolverines played. So you got the USA Bowl, which is the the bowl series, and you got the Ravens playing the Prime, which is the actual national championship, and then you have the Bison and the Chargers, which is another bowl game, and then you got a couple other games that are the River City Rough Riders and the Tulsa Gators, and I can't read, that's too small. There's 5 games
from
total.
the National Players Association, Brian. He said the Hurricanes QB is nice.
Is it? Okay.
That's what the National Players Association, my man, is saying. He's saying the QB is nice. He would know. He knows all the players. He's saying it's nice. So we'll see. We'll see. Motor City has a stout defense, so we definitely can see what's what. But I'm anxious. Of course, we rooting all PFA. We went 3 dubs. You know, we won all 3 of them.
I don't know if we'll have.
Definitely anxious. Honestly, in that Detroit Ravens Prime game, I don't really see a loser. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really see a loser because both of them teams, if you play anybody else, they win.
Mm-hmm.
They play anybody. If Prime plays anybody else in that national championship game, they win. Detroit plays them, but they win. So them two playing against each other, it's a win for us as a semi-pro community. To be honest with you, to actually have that game on tap. That's why I said that's a real national championship game.
Yeah,
that ain't no. Like you said, both teams when they leave. We got one team who done won about 46 games straight. Detroit Ravens done been in 9 straight national championship games. They like the LeBron at this point of semi-pro making it to championship game. So something got to give. So
yeah.
when you have games like that, I don't really think it's a loser. We're winning.
Right. And on that note, as you say, it's a true national championship. They won their leagues. They played competition outside of their state. They didn't stay inside their league. Now, winning your league and going 12-0 and just beating all the how do I say this nicely, crappy teams in your league, and then getting a bowl game is kind of janky to me. But again, I'm not a football player and never played football. I'm just a media person. But to as a media aspect, I think it's silly for someone to get a bowl game that didn't win their championship and then call it a national championship, because it's really not. But whatever you want to tell yourself, whatever makes you feel happy at the end of the day, I'm not trying to tell you different. But who's on the show next week?
Next week, we're gonna have Queen City Raiders head coach and owner is going to be on with us. We also, because I just seen a comment in there about our PFA 2A teams. Mm-hmm. So next week we're going to be doing a preview of both the 2A and, of course, you heard us talk about some of the 3A teams today. But we're going to go through a whole little rundown, schmodown of everybody that's in the PFA for the 2024 season. And then we're also going to talk about more talk about these upcoming games. Probably try to see if we can get some interviews maybe from some other guys from other leagues. If we get some Marshfield Hurricanes, anybody can tag them. Be more than happy to have them on the show.
National player. The
national player guy, if you can link me up with that, the Hurricane guys or any Indy Bisons, out there want to, be on the show next week to talk about your team. We want to definitely talk about the game, those national championship games leading up to next week. And that's what we got booked for next week. Anything else? Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And thanks to all of our guests. We, Andy Hamilton coming on, our director of officials for the PFA, Coach Wheeler from the Cincinnati Bucs, and of course T. Sims, the owner, coach of the Detroit Ravens. All guests tonight on our first episode of the Rundown presented by the PFA. And also, I don't remember to have the sponsors in front of me, but thanks to all the sponsors for the PFA, and hopefully we'll be thanking some of the sponsors for the podcast soon, huh?
Yeah. And before we let you guys go, please like, subscribe, follow. 2 seconds, 3 seconds tops. All right.
Get us some likes and subscribes on all of our social media so we can get more, be able to
Facebook,
get better.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, we everywhere. Be on Spotify by next week. We everywhere. So there's not a platform that we're not going to try to be on that you can't get content about the rundown of things that are going on with the PFA as far as the games, highlights, etc. So please tap in, man. Tap in.
And that's going to be it for us. I'm Brian, and my partner in crime here, Chris Cousins. We'll be back next week, 7:00 on Thursday. We'll talk about more Daytona games and stuff like that. But everybody have a good rest of the week, and be safe and take care.